हेलो 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 वेलकम एवरीवन वेलकम वन एंड ऑल सब लोगों को वेलकम आई गेस आई फॉरगॉट द हिंदी वर्ड फॉर इट इट्स द Formula 1 stream couch pundits weekend things it's a good weekend. The Australian GP is back after 3 years. We have a new pole sitter for the first time in the hybrid era. We have Valtteri Bottas not making it to Q3 for the first time since he joined Mercedes. And we're going to have a lot of firsts this season where it's not Lewis Hamilton because that's just the way things work. And today we also have another first. We have a new guest joining us for the stream today. But first, let me introduce Akhil, who has been on the stream before, who has recently been a podium finisher himself. Congratulations to you, Akhil. At Imola, his team finished with a double podium. So, congratulations. And I'm
Thank you.
also joined by Naren Harwani. He is a motorsport content creator on YouTube and Instagram, and also a Ferrari fan. So, it's the year of Ferrari. How are you guys doing? How are you doing, Akhil?
All good, all good. Thank you for having me. And yeah, the podium was quite good. Good race, good weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. I will come to you about that. But first, Naren, how are you feeling this year generally? You've been, it's very clear that you've been a Ferrari fan for quite some time. But it must not have been nice the last couple of years, the way things were going. And this year, y'all are doing well. How does it feel?
Yes. First of all, thank you, Dhaval, for having me here on Pundits Sports. I think it's great. You all are doing some great content and feels really good. And yeah, being a Ferrari fan this year, I think it's just like जैसे मोदी बोलता है ना कि अच्छे दिन आएंगे अच्छे दिन आएंगे. I think it's just like that. It feels really good to finally see Ferrari back in the front. Long time. It's been long time. I think they were very vocal about their plans last year and in 2020 as well. They're focusing only on 2022, and that was also quite quite unusual for them to come out in the front and say that out loud, which I don't think so they've ever done. But yeah, it's great to see them back. I think 2019 was a good year for them, but again, like they had some engine issues towards the end of the year, and but yeah, it's great to see Ferrari back again, and in fact, generally a new team fighting in the front. I think it's good for the sport overall.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, Akhil, what are your thoughts on generally the season that we've seen so far?
I think, yeah, Ferrari have come out of the box really strong. They've got testing right. Reliability is good. They were strong in both in Barcelona and in Bahrain. So yeah, I think they also spent the last few years, very difficult years, and they really need to come out strong, which they have. I think Mercedes, I think they're still yet to unlock the potential. Some might say there's no potential because they got the philosophy wrong. But I think yeah, they're improving this. What they're still top 10. They're getting closer, from a second, 8, 10, 6, 10. So I think they're getting closer to the top. It's nice to see the McLarens in the top half, at least this round. I know it's not the most representative track, but it's good for Daniel. He's not been home, and the poor guy has not had a good season last year. So I'm sure he's on a good, happy high, and his big smile is there. Yeah, and yeah, I feel like Latifi is not doing well on the social rounds. Unfortunately, from whatever 6 months, 5 months ago. So poor guy. And yeah, I think Bottas is probably I've probably seen him smiling more than ever. At least the first two rounds. So yeah, exciting season ahead. Let's see what unfolds.
Absolutely. Latifi is the only one who's maintained consistency from last season. It's Latifi and then Max Verstappen. These guys
Yeah.
have consistently performed at the level that they were performing last year. But yeah, let's talk about since it's Australian GP. Let's start off the stream by talking about Daniel Ricciardo. It is not a couch pundits team if we don't talk about Daniel Ricciardo. The guy did 10 laps in qualifying today, while the others were doing 5 and 6 laps, 7 laps, some of them. This guy has done 10. So he was clearly quite desperate to get into Q3. He got into Q3 and
Yeah.
did fairly well. What are we expecting? Something from him in the race? a podium finish, maybe, Naren?
Yeah, I think that would be really ideal. I think that would possibly be something that he would be aiming for. Yes, definitely. But given, like, if even if he finishes in the top five, top six, I think that would be really good finish for him, even though it's his home place. But given where McLaren have faced issues during testing, and even he was out of the testing because of COVID, and I think they've performed good for this. Race on this racetrack, Australian Albert Park circuit. Mainly because it's quite kind of similar to Barcelona as well. They have similar characteristics, but yeah, I think even if he finishes in the top five, top six, would be really good finish for Daniel Ricciardo. Given that he's not had a really good season last year, I think top five, top six would be really good. But yeah, podium finish that'd be icing on the cake for sure on the home Grand Prix. I think the atmosphere in Australia is fantastic. I think it's great to see, first of all the fans back. And I was just browsing through Twitter yesterday, and all fans are clicking pictures with drivers and stuff. And it was so good to see all that, the fans back in the crowd. It was really good to see that. Where 3 years back we had like Chase Carey was announcing that okay, we're not gonna have a race in 2020. So it's quite unusual, but yeah, quite good to see the fans back, and I hope Canada kind of has a good.
Yeah. Cool. So let's break down this qualifying. Let's talk about Latifi. Akhil, did you get a chance to see replays of the incident, or did you see it
Yeah,
live?
I mean, it was
What
just.
are your thoughts on that?
I think it's just. I mean, it's very easily done. It's just miscommunication, and unfortunately, he let Stroll go, and then Stroll didn't go, and then I think on Alpha was coming behind, and he was doing the right thing of, if you're not going to go, at least like get out of the way and let me also get past you. And normally, if a car lets you go, right, you would probably not look in your mirrors, because you know that the car is fully backed off, and you're just trying to set up. He's probably doing something on the steering wheel, or making some settings, or getting his lap ready for the next lap. So like, okay, I passed this car and I'm only thinking about the front. I'm only looking out for, like, cars coming behind the car which let me pass, which probably stole out a few seconds. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'll not put it entirely on Latifi, because poor guy. I mean, there was a car coming and he went for a gap. And Stroll, man, come on, you got to look in your mirrors like every now and then when you're on a slow lap. I mean, I'm sure like if he had like that much more space, I mean, nothing would have happened. So I think however consumed you are, I'm sure you need spatial awareness in Formula One. So I think both it was a bit of a fault on both ends, but yeah, easily can happen. It's happened in the past. It's happened on in laps in the race. Yeah, just unfortunate. It's expensive, not good for Latifi. Poor guy, being a racing guy. It's not good for the head when after the last race and this.
I think Dhaval was.
We lost him.
Yeah.
Oh, he's acting really well.
Yeah, I think what you said, Akhil, was absolutely correct. I think both were quite. It was quite an unusual thing. First of all, like Stroll, Latifi letting Stroll pass him, and then they were quite. And then Latifi went for it. I think there was no like you
Yeah.
shouldn't have first of all gone for the overtake in the first place. Like that you should have waited and
Yeah.
gone for the overtake maybe, or just passed him later. But yeah, I think it was quite unusual to see both of them crashing for no reason. I think
Yeah.
given the cost cap also, we have the cost cap rules as well, and it's gonna be heavy on the pockets for both the teams. I think even Aston Martin, they had like even Sebastian Vettel crashed today, and even
Yeah.
Lance Stroll crashed today, and then even Latifi. So it's gonna be costly for both the teams for sure.
Yeah, I think exactly. I mean, it's also, if you look at Mick Schumacher, he's driving so cautiously now. I'm sure
Yes.
Gunther Steiner has told him that you got to prove yourself, but you have only one chassis remaining, and don't do anything stupid. So poor guy is not able to drive flat out, because he has that he has the thought behind his head. If he crashes the car, it's him done. So yeah, I mean, I think that's why the cost cap is there. I think it is maybe unfair to the small teams, but it also makes it it is restricts the larger teams. But yeah, I mean, it shouldn't have happened to whatever happened. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite unusual to see that. I mean, yeah, even looking in the mirrors, I think mirrors are there for the reason, and I don't I don't know, like when you're going so slow, I'm pretty sure, like you're
Yeah.
like it's quite uh, common to not look into the mirrors when you're going quite slow, right?
Yeah.
So quite an unusual incident.
Yeah. What did you think of science?
Oh, science, quite unlucky, but I don't
Hmm.
know. I think somehow things have not fallen in place for him
Yeah,
yet. I think
I think so
he's
too.
got the pace for sure. Yes, and he's time and again he's all the three races he's saying that he's fighting for the pole position. He's admitting that he's a contender for the pole position, and it clearly seems like that he's a contender
Yeah.
for the pole position. But I think he's not had the best of chances yet. I think today was quite unlucky. Like even when he crossed the line, just before he crossed the line, I think the red flag came in, right?
Yeah, yeah, he
So
lost that
his
last push lap.
yeah, so he lost that time, and the lap wasn't counted. So
Yeah.
I think he just had to wait. And I was watching his interview as well. Like there's one question like, how are you gonna spend the rest of your day, and how are you
What do you
gonna
answer? Like, what do you say to that? Obviously, I'm
yeah, yeah,
not happy, man. I'm gonna push and rectify it tomorrow and try my best.
yeah, he clearly said that. He clearly said that, like, I'm just gonna sleep it off, and
Yeah.
until I sleep, I'm just gonna be super angry. But yeah, I think
Sorry, I missed
he's,
what you were talking about.
yeah,
The
you
science.
just science, yeah.
Signs. Oh, yeah. The red flags ruining his qualifying. That so we're since we're talking about Sainz, if I may ask both of you this. Last year we saw Sainz and Leclerc, the best buddies on track. Okay, we are together. We are taking the team forward. We are both going to help the team, and we. Everything was we. It's us against the world. And this year, both of them have been given a car that is capable of winning.
Hmm.
Okay, well, how many races before we start seeing them fight with each other?
For them to fight, they have to be together first. So that's a bit. We're not seeing any duels between them yet, and maybe not this race too. But I think going forward, when Sainz gets his luck on point and he gets his act together, he'll probably be qualifying to second or fighting for first. And it's there. It's not like he's off. He's just put everything together. Yeah, I mean, both are hard racers. Both are extremely now they have a lot of experience. But I think Ferrari is Charles's team. Every time you see any video, you see Mattia going and hugging Leclerc first and not Sainz, and small things like that. So yeah, he's the poster boy, right? New poster boy of Ferrari. So it's also hard, right, for Sainz. He's and also Sainz made a point last year by beating. Leclerc. So I'm pretty sure Leclerc's winter break was not very good. So he said, whatever happens from round one, he's not. He's going to be behind me. So it's working, I guess, the strategy.
Yeah, he has been quite. You're right. Last year was Sainz making a point, and this year is Leclerc making a point.
Yeah.
Speaking of teammates dueling with each other, last race we saw the Alpines go at it. And quite frankly, Alpine is doing really well this year. They're consistently getting into Q3. They have the pace. It's great to see Fernando back racing, and not just like being okay, मैं इधर बस खाली गाड़ी चलाने के लिए आया है, I'll just go round and round, part of a train. He's racing, he's overtaking, he's defending. I saw a really funny reel where they cut last year's shot where Fernando is like tell Esteban to defend like a lion, and then it's the shot of Esteban
Yeah,
defending
I think that.
against Fernando this year. So that was quite hilarious. But thoughts on that, guys? Naren, I'll come to you first with
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So basically, yeah, it was a great show that they put out in the last race. I think both of them were neck and neck, and they were kind of battling it out against each other. I think and the cars were also in a different livery, right? They had all over pink liveries. So I think great for the sponsors for sure, 200% yes, and possibly even Otmar, like like as soon as they were racing, and I think the commentators directly went up to Otmar asking him, why aren't you all? I mean, what's the next step? Would you all give team orders, or would you all let them race? And Otmar was very calmly. He mentioned like, okay, yeah, we just gonna allow them race, which is really good to see because we as fans also want to see them racing, and I think it was great, great time on TV that they got, and I think they are a midfield team. They were a midfield team last time, and now I think they are the top. Seems like they're the top four, top five teams. So I think uh, it's good. It's great to see them battling it out, and I think they're too close for comfort last race, yes, that we could just see. But I hope Fernando also we saw today he was go on a flyer of a lap, right? I think
Yeah.
had he possibly completed his qualifying and I think Ocon's already in P6, P7, so I think that'll be really P8. Yeah, he's in P8. So and Alonso possibly would have been in the top three. That's what he told in the interview. Like, he's aiming for a top three finish. So it is just great show the Alpine has put up last race, and I think this time also they look quite strong.
Akhil, same question to you, except what do you think is going through Esteban's head at this point in time?
I think Esteban, when he sees a pink car and he sees Otmar as a team manager, he just starts racing aggressively. I think it's on switch somewhere there. So I think it's like he's got his fighting mode back on. Jokes aside, I mean it's one of those things, right? You're the new upcoming guy. You need to stay in Formula One for the next decade. I mean, it's so what he's my teammate. It's so what he's Fernando Alonso. I'm gonna do my best and I'm gonna be in front. End of the day, you finish at the front. That's what people remember. No one's going to remember he fought here, he fought there. So I think Esteban is making a point. He's trying to make a point. He's trying to push. And Fernando is Fernando, right? He's already made his point. So he's just being him. So yeah, I think both are trying to prove themselves, and I think I think Otmar thought it would be easy, but he saw the pink car and he saw Ocon and he saw the fighting again, and he's like, damn, I should have gone straight at Aston.
Yeah, I think it was like Naren was saying, they got a lot of airtime last time, and I think their team was also interviewed while they were racing, and they said exactly the same thing. कि यार हम लोग को तो मजा आ रहा है, तुम लोग ये लोग पे फोकस कर रहे हो because it's the most entertaining part of the race. At
Yeah.
that point in time, obviously the end of that race was something else. But yeah, it was quite nice. Moving on, let's talk about a team that we expected a lot out of Mercedes. Hamilton finally out qualifying George Russell. I think second time this season. First race he did. Second he didn't, and back out qualifying George Russell. So okay, let's address this. Hamilton. Everyone was like, if you put Hamilton in a shitty car, also, he is going to still win races. Okay, this is what a lot of people said. Hamilton
Yeah.
Bhagwan hai, Hamilton can do this, Hamilton can do that. Now they've put Hamilton in a shitty car. I'm sure he doesn't want to be there, but it's a shitty car as compared to the others. It's like the porpoising is off the charts. There is no pace. The straight line speed is off. The corners are not there. Nothing is there. Okay, they've tried to reduce drag, this, that. Nothing seems to be working. Like Kid said, yes, they are moving up and it's a slow process. But I'm afraid by the time they get to where they want to be, it might already be too late because the people he's up against are extremely consistent people. Max Verstappen is not going to make mistakes. So bridging that gap towards the end of the season, the point gap, is going to be very difficult. Having said that, George Russell, uh, amazing performances throughout the season, even with that car. So the question to be answered is, was it Hamilton or was it the car? Naren, you seem to be very excited by this proposition, so I'll come to you first for
Yeah.
this.
I think you kind of asked a very good question, and like I think last year, and yeah, this is a very controversial topic as well. Like people have just Hamilton fans and Max Verstappen fans have just gone out on each other on social media, or even when during race viewing and stuff. Like they're I think definitely it has to be a combination of the both. It cannot be like only the car or only the driver. Definitely, Hamilton is one of the best racing drivers, and I think porpoising is a very big issue that they're facing right now. And like even the onboard videos that I've seen, it's just bizarre. I don't know. Like I've never seen them. It's just like banging your head constantly. For like a good number of seconds when you're on a straight line, of the straight line part of the track, right? That's like easy 4, 5,
Yeah.
or even 6, 7 seconds. So, and they're at such high speed, right? So, I think there's a lot going through at Mercedes right now. They've not got the car set up right yet. For poising issues, yes, they're facing that issue. So, they've placed the car height as well right now. And I think yes. I think it's a mix of both. I would say you need to have a really good car. Like Abhi, if you put Hamilton in a Haas, like it's not gonna he's not gonna be on the podium, right? I think it's gonna be really difficult like that. And or possibly if you put Nikita Mazepin in a Mercedes, like to get a point there, like it's quite possible that he crashed on the third turn itself, like he did in the first race of his in his debut race. I think experience. Hamilton has a lot of experience, yes, and that's what he makes the most use of. He places the car at the right place. He kind of uses the straight line speed to his best advantage. The buttons, magic buttons that he and Mercedes have. I think it's a combination. It cannot be one person single-handedly taking care of 7 world championships. I think winning a race itself is a very big thing, and participating in Formula One itself is a very big thing. Let alone win 7 world championships. What he's finished a race on 3 tires. He's what got
Yeah.
n number of records day in day out. I think after every race until end of last year, he was beating records after record, and possibly even start of this year, he's got more race appearances than Michael Schumacher. So I think it's a mix of both. It cannot be one. It's not Lewis. It's not the car. I think it's both. Like you need to be one with the car. Any driver has to be one with the car. I think that's what I'd like to say. And I think Akhil would definitely be the right person to add to that or even answer that. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's one of those things where cars have a limitation, right? Whatever car, even if you put the best driver in a Haas, it can only go that fast. You put in whatever car and whatever series. Even if you put Hamilton in a Formula 2 car, he's not going to go as fast as a Formula 1 car. There are limitations on the car, the tires, and chassis, right? So yeah, I think the best way to put it is probably extracting the best from whatever he has. And I mean, it's not black and white. Say you give him bad car, gonna win races. Yeah, if the front two crash and he's in third. He's obviously gonna win the race. So it's one of those things where I think with his experience and his team around him, he's able to extract whatever that car has, and they're still learning the car. And I mean, George is also doing an incredibly good job. So I think that whenever the car improves, Lewis will improve, and I think they go hand in hand. I think the last weekend, just I think something didn't click, but yeah, he's human. Yeah, you don't get right always.
Acha. He's human and all you're saying. While his fans are out there saying, "वो हमारा भगवान है," और Max Verstappen हैवान है. Uh,
Oh
so
my God.
yeah,
What are your thoughts on that? I think we get to know your thoughts as well.
I mean, see, okay, look, Hamilton, like Naren, you were saying, it's a mix of both, and to consistently do this for 7 years in a row, okay, it's not 7 titles basically. It's not easy. Even if you have a great car, you still have to be like on point all the time, especially with Max Verstappen breathing down your neck for 2 3 years. It has to be there, and he's done it. He has been super consistent, and that is his mark. But that doesn't mean that he's a like he's not God. Okay, like I want to mix both your points and basically say yes,
Hmm.
he is not he's not the कि तुम उसको किसी भी गाड़ी में डाल दो या सेबेस्टियन वेटल के स्कूटर पे बिठा दो तो भी वो जीत जाएगा रेस. That's not going to happen. But Sebastian Vettel, on the other hand, might be racing this race with a scooter because the
Yeah.
Aston Martin mechanic is like, तुम लोग दोनों कितना गाड़ी तोड़ोगे बैठ के, हम लोग काम नहीं करने वाले.
One lap was 5,000 euros, so it might be a bit expensive for the whole race.
Yeah. And I think there are a lot of memes. I mean, memes भी बहुत आगे internet पे, like, he's driving the scooter and the Satya ka music playing in the background, and God knows what all, man. And even I think वो भी हो रहा था कि like 5,000 euros they have to pay, and when Max touched Lewis Hamilton's front revving, and that time he didn't pay anything, like, and there's lots of drama. I think Sebastian Vettel had this morning.
Yeah, I don't know if this is real, but I have been told that in some countries in Europe and I think in the Middle East also, there are all these people who have these expensive supercars and all, and they'll just bring it to public places and you can pay them a few euros to drive that car. I don't know if this is true, if you guys
Not a
actually
few.
seen this. Is it true?
No, but you say few means what?
मतलब 100-200 euro देके मतलब एक राउंड कराने को
That is
बोलेगा
not few, no?
हाँ, but it's not 5,000. No, सेबेस्टियन वेटल ने 5,000 दिया स्कूटर चलाने का. इधर काइनेटिक तेरे को गोवा में 800 रुपया पर डे में मिलता है पूरा दिन का.
Yeah, 5,000 euros is a lot, man. I think you can.
So compared to that, 100 euros is like, हाँ ठीक है, मतलब ठीक है. It's a Formula One team at the end of the day. They can afford these things. But
yeah, definitely.
Let's talk about them. Let's talk about Aston Martin. Sebastian Vettel coming back after his COVID, missed the first two races of the season. Hulkenberg was there after he got the taste of Formula One again. He's like, मेरे को वापस आने का, obviously, but कोई उसको लेने वाला नहीं है permanently. He's a good for the time being. There are enough other drivers. So what did we think of Seb's return? Too little time to get used to things since it's new car and new everything. Akhil?
Yeah, I mean, he's not had good runs, right, in all the practice sessions. And they've not done they're not completed all the 3 practice sessions. I don't know if they're not able to try a lot. It's also, they finished testing and then he's off for like a month now. So he's not been in the car where people have done like 2 weeks, 2 races and, a few days of driving. So it's a bit of a restart in many ways. And I don't know how bad his COVID was and if he's, any energy levels are down and all that. So I think it's like a third test day or third preseason thing for him where he's just trying to learn everything. And maybe if the car is developed if they've changed some parts or changed things, it's a bit different, which he needs to still get to grips with. And yeah, I mean, I don't think he'll take time, but yeah, I think it's just time. It just needs maybe this end of this race, and for whatever the next race, he'll be on it.
Yeah. Before we move on to Mr. Stroll, I just have a quick announcement to make. One, please like the stream, guys. If you like the stream, the algorithm does the magic and we will increase our viewer numbers. I feel like the algorithm is messing with us because we put out certain clips last week, didn't promote them, and now because of the low views, we are having low viewership. So if you guys like the stream, comment and, do the basics things, it will get back up the numbers. Having said that, another announcement to make tomorrow, Couch Pundits is organizing another Formula One screening live. It's happening at in Bombay. Okay, so this is only for the people in Bombay. It's happening at Woodside, Bandra, because the race starts at 10:30 in the morning. The thing will start about 10:15. They're specially opening up that early for us. Woodside does not open until 11:30. So please come, guys. The link for the RSVP is a pinned comment over here. So hope to see you guys there. I will be there. My co-host on this podcast, Dhaval Shethia, will be there. I am expecting maybe even Naren to come. I don't know if he'll wake up and come. He's told me he'll come, but who knows?
And I'll try
Akhil will
my
not be
best,
there
that's for
because
sure.
he's not even in the country. But yeah, so we hope to see you guys. It's going to be fun. Please do come. It'll be fun. And it's
Yeah,
free.
yeah.
Okay, you don't have to pay anything. Just show up. There are deals on like the things that you can drink and all. So everything is good and fun. And if this works out, we'll be doing it on a more regular basis. So it's in the best interest of all the Formula One fans out there. So hope to see you guys tomorrow, 10 o'clock, Woodside Bandra. Link is pinned. Coming back,
I
Lance
strongly
Stroll.
suggest. I'd just like to add.
Uh,
I'd just like to strongly suggest everyone to go for a race screening. I think that's where the magic happens. That's where the atmosphere is so electrifying, right? I think you get to meet a lot of people. Unlike I think even when I started watching motorsport, I didn't know anyone, and that's where I kind of met a lot of people who are interested into motorsport. And yeah, just like to strongly suggest to go for race screenings. And yeah, Couch Pundits Sports is doing like a really good thing by organizing the race screening at Woodside and in Bandra. So do watch out for that and enjoy the race screening atmosphere. It's just literally let out in any race screening, guys. Just enjoy that.
yes. Thank you. Coming back, Lance Stroll. Let's talk about his season. It's not been good. His last season, he had some good races in the middle when everyone was like taking it a little easy. He was finishing in top 10, this, that. Uh, Akhil, what do you think of Lance Stroll? How many years does he have in this sport now?
I think I'm pretty sure like, because if you look, go back a few years, the father bought the team, and it became a larger shareholder in Aston Martin. So yeah, I'm pretty sure to throw in several hundred millions or whatever, close to a billion, is like, it's not is important money, and he's got consortium money, and he needs to make things work, right? And no sponsor. I mean, Aramco is one of the biggest companies in the world. They're sponsoring Aston Martin and so many other sponsors. No one wants to see the car at the back. So I think there's
Yeah.
pressure on Stroll Senior to get the car right. I think once you get the car right, then you can probably the disparities will be more clear when you have two drivers. If the car is capable of winning and one driver is not in the top three every time, then it's a very clear distinction. Now you can always say the car is not good. We're still learning the car. This is wrong. That is wrong. And once you're at the back, the driver disparity, it's hard to tell unless it's really big. But saying that, I mean, you think he's decent, right? He's not going to get 99 on 100, but he'll get 85 on 100 or 88 on 100. So he'll do that. He'll be there. He'll do his job. Every now and then he gets really good results, and sometimes
But यार
some
ये
very
88 on 100
careless stuff.
Formula 2 drivers भी लेके ले आएंगे यार. The reason these people are in Formula 1 is like they are supposed to be the best of the best, and getting up to 90 is easy, but getting from 90 to 91 is hard. Getting from 91 to 94 is harder. 94 to 96 is even harder. 96 to 97, as you get where I'm going with this. It's those last few is which is the toughest thing to do, and this guy is at most like on a good day, like when things are going well for him, yes, of course, because he's a Formula One driver at the end of the day. But I fail to see his levels. He doesn't have that much of a ceiling. I feel like he's hit it. Like this is as good as he can be. Or am I just completely off here?
Naren?
I think it's gotta be definitely. I think the car as well. Like I think he's not yet has had the best of the cars, right? I think when he started with Racing Point and even Williams, he started with Williams and then Racing Point and then got into Aston Martin. I think Aston Martin have not yet uh, shown their right. I mean, they've not yet got the right setup, right? So once possibly he gets a right setup, I think that's when it'll be a good time to compare him with other drivers and not really compare him with other drivers, but see his actual performance, right? I think he got a pole in one of the races last season, if I'm not mistaken. I think when it was raining, and
Yeah,
that was really good to
an
see.
Ocon
Yes.
one, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hungarian.
Yeah.
So that was really good to see, but I think he's still. I mean, we cannot see him go out of F1. I don't think so. He'll be going out of F1 anytime soon. I think he'll definitely have at least a couple of more seasons to show what he's capable of. I think yeah, one of the pole is what I can remember is his strong performances last year. But I think again, I think that he doesn't have the best of the cars underneath him. So I think a couple of more seasons for sure. And I think Aston Martin needs to. They've got the right. They've got the right backing right now. They're kind of investing a lot of money in setting up their factory, and they're gonna possibly have their own wind tunnel as well. I think that's when they've been also been very vocal about what their plans are. It's a long-term plan. They've got a 5-year plan, and I think they're in the second year. So,
I feel like
5-year
Stroll
plan for
साहब का
winning
पैसा
championship.
आपको पहुंच गया है. Like the way you are answering that is like a spokesperson for Aston Martin. No, Lance does not have the right car. Just give us some time. We're getting there. We've not shown our best. We will do it. We'll do it.
PR
You
manager.
should change your
No,
hat,
no,
man.
no,
Get
no,
get
not
some
like
Aston
that, not
Martin
like
hat.
that. But I also think that when Racing Point was there, or when Force India was there, they were not a strong team. They didn't have a lot of team members. But even their performances were really good. They were to be seen in the top six for sure. And I think they finished also in P4 uh, in one of the years, and even possibly P5, which is fairly good than what they are now. So I think they're going to reconstruct the entire team, right? It's basically changing the entire team. So, with respect to their other team members, not the drivers, but yeah,
That's
not
true. And with
not
next year,
wanna.
we might, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Okay. Next year we might see. I don't know if it's going to happen next year, but soon we're going to probably see Porsche and Audi coming into Formula One. Those are the rumors, at least. And if that happens, it's going to be even tougher for Aston Martin to retain this kind of a car, because it's going to be tough. These are like big players, and they'll have massively amazing, fantastic, beautiful फाड़ देंगे engine को लाके. So कुछ भी हो सकता है. So Aston Martin needs to buck up, and maybe getting rid of Lance Stroll is the way to go. But that remains to be seen. This is just the opinion of a random person on the internet. Please do not take it to Lance Stroll, because if he sees
No, I
that,
think
he's going to hit.
even that team. I think the team's also quite. I mean, they look quite like, although Sebastian Vettel is a four-time world champion, but I think even last year, I think he was not at his best. He didn't perform really good, and I think he seems very chill about everything. Like even his interviews today, he literally said that driving the scooter was more fun than driving the actual car. I mean, you cannot say that out in front with live audience, right? So.
Uh,
That's quite weird. I think definitely. I think
Sebastian,
they need.
I think that's the brain fog post-COVID that people talk about.
No, he is.
Um,
He is. He is actually really funny in general. But
that
saying
is
that
true.
about the
I
car
just really
is
wish
like a
that
step too far.
Sebastian Vettel had social media. It would have
Oh
been
yeah.
quite some. I feel like he would have overtaken everyone in being just, extremely sarcastic and dry humor. But okay, I'll go to before we move on to Red Bull and discuss a few of the back markers. I'm going to take some chat questions. What and where do you guys think Mercedes went wrong, and how their customers are doing better than them? Akhil, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, I mean it's hard to pinpoint. It's more on the aero from what I understand. If you look at all the cars up front, they have wider side pods, which is creating a wider airflow. It's creating more downforce. I think Mercedes just went with no side pods. The mass of air is just going through it, right? It's not going anywhere and pushing anything down. So they got a lot. It's become very slippery and I mean less draggy, but at the same time they got porpoising, so they can't lower the car. So the most obvious thing is the faster cars are very wide, larger side pods. They're making the air work a bit more. Mercedes, since there's very less over there, it's just going through it. So it's easier said than done. I'm sure because they're stuck with this philosophy, they probably have to stay with this no side pod for this year. But saying that, I know I'm sure if I don't know if it is a dead end car or if it just really needs to be unlocked. And when we say unlocked, I don't know if it is going to be like the fastest car or it will be on a good day. It will be very it will be competitive. But yeah, it's somewhere there. But I think, but definitely they've got it. They've not got it right.
Yeah. Uh, Hope that answers your question.
Yeah, I
Somebody is in
think
the chat, I
Lewis
noticed earlier
Hamilton,
saying,
Lewis Hamilton होता अभी तो वो बोलता है कि my team never gets it wrong. He said that in the interview, right? I think.
he protects his
Yeah,
team.
right.
Earlier, someone said McLaren should take Renault engines, and that would just be such a kick in the face for Daniel Ricciardo क्योंकि वो Renault छोड़ के इधर आया है. फिर वापस तुम उसको रेनो की गाड़ी में बिठाओगे तो बोलेगा नहीं यार मैं बस अभी जूते में से पानी पिएगा और घर पे बैठ के हर्मिट बन जाएगा. क्या बोलते हो यार? Somebody saying, given that the budget is same for all teams, you actually see the quality of drivers. Hamilton has won many championships just because of the car. This is the same person who one comment before that said money dictates everything in F1. So it does not. Money is now same for everyone, and you see the quality of drivers. What are you trying to say? Do you even know? Because you're saying money dictates everything, and they're saying driver quality dictates everything. So there is your statements are mutually destructive. But I'll still answer your question because we've already discussed this before. Hamilton did win many championships, but it was not just because of the car. It was also because of the kind of driver he is, consistent driver that he is, and the few. It's about how few mistakes you can make, and he made very few mistakes, which is why he won so many championships. Next, oh, this is interesting. A regular has said that Leclerc summoned for driving slowly on an in lap and might be getting a penalty. What kind of a penalty will this be? Grid place or Akhil? If
It'll be
if
grid.
he's
It'll
going to
be grid
be
place or something, or they might just give him a warning or something. Yeah, I mean they're not. I don't. These are just dirty politics trying to dock a guy for doing well. So yeah, it'll not be. I mean, I'm not.
who's
I don't
doing
think I
these
saw anything
politics,
very obvious.
who is behind this? Is it Helmut?
Charles's father. I mean, sorry, Science's father. Sorry,
He's a science senior.
senior.
No, yeah, I feel like those guys are chill, yeah. Like वो लोग मस्त जहाँ 7 मिनट के बाद में डिनर भी करेंगे. But yeah, it might be Helmut. And speaking of Helmut, let's talk about Red Bull. I must mention this. We have a correspondent who is at the track, who has been at the track since yesterday. He was at the track today, and he is going to be at the track tomorrow. He's found us on Instagram. His name is Suraj Shetty. So if you guys are also, on Instagram and follow us and are going to be at any races throughout the rest of the year, you can message us and be our correspondent on ground. He's been sharing some exclusive footage and photographs with us. And his take is that Red Bull are looking quicker and they will have more race pace. Ferrari are off the pace just a little bit. Yes, Leclerc managed to grab that pole. But there's two things. One, it'll probably rain tomorrow. There is 50% chance of rain according to the weather reports, but being a local, he's like it is very likely that it is going to rain tomorrow. And for those who don't know what weather reports when they say 50% chance of rain, it does not mean that it may or may not rain. It means that the area which they are predicting, 50% of that area is going to get rain tomorrow. It's not 50% it may rain, 50%. No, that's okay. This is something I learned also very recently. So if you don't know, 50% chance of rain means 50% of the area that they're covering will get rain tomorrow. And it's looking like it's going to be a wet race. So in that context, Akhil, Red Bull's chances in wet conditions. What do you have to say after we saw last year McLaren messing it up badly and Verstappen going from P20 to P3? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think that Ferrari have a bad car in the rain unless they've built it so well that it's good for the dry and not good for the wet. Even if it rains, I don't think it will stop Charles from changing his plan or strategy or driving style. I think he'll still be up front. Only thing is, I think Max will be that much more aggressive, and if he goes a bit more aggressive, they might tangle. Um, yeah, I don't think. I mean, Max is a very good driver in the rain, and the car supports it. But Charles is no less. I won't be surprised if that order remains the same, at least in the top four, unless there's a crash or something. Yeah, I just the only thing is I just hope everyone brings temperature in their tires because it's cold, and you just don't want bowling pin effect over there, bowling ball effect.
Yeah. Naren, what do you think of Red Bull's chances in wet conditions?
I think, yeah, like Akhil said, Max is very strong in wet conditions. But yeah, I mean, saying that, I think wet conditions, anything can happen. I think F1 in normal conditions also is pretty crazy. Like they've got a resurfaced track. They've got a new layout, which none of the drivers are doing before except qualifying and practice sessions this race. So I think its advantage pack drivers, like it's something that possibly something that they can take advantage of in terms of strategy, fitting in early, fitting in late, trying some different things anyway at the pack, like Mansell's P20, right? So he can take some risk if it rains, fit early, fit late, given the conditions of race rains at given point of time. But yeah, I think Max Verstappen's very strong. I think. Even Charles Leclerc, yeah, in the range he's strong. Lewis Hamilton's very strong in the range. So I think, yeah, if it rains, we are in hell of a race tomorrow. I think, I think Spa. I mean, I shouldn't say this, but I think Spa last year, I think it rained and we didn't see a race at all, right? And then after that incident, all fans are like, "कि बस अभी rain नहीं चाहिए कोई भी race."
वो तो
Because we
एकदम
missed
घटिया
that.
रेस था. That was a sham. And that the person who commented, Shushant, I'm just going to call you Shushant because I can't say your name. Money dictates everything. This is an example of that. Spa last year was an example of how money dictates everything in this sport. Okay, that was a sham of a race, and I'm sure George Russell doesn't feel too bad about it though. Having said that, Basav Prabhu is saying Mercedes will have problems because they needed 3 outlaps to get tire temperature, and he expects them to have problems in the rain, which is true. Yeah. प्लस वो लोग का गाड़ी बहुत छोटा है तो मतलब शायद बारिश में वो लोग को एडवांटेज भी हो जाए, क्या पता. Race predictions before we move on to the back markers, because nobody cares about the back markers. Haas expected more of them because they gave us some false promises and all in the first 2 races, but they're back to being Haas. Alfa Romeo, Valtteri Bottas is doing really well. Zhou Guanyu needs some more time. Let him get adjusted, and we'll see some real pace from him soon, hopefully. And yeah, race predictions. Let's go, guys. Akhil, you always say that Max and Charles are going to tangle or they are going to get into some sort of something.
I've said that once. I didn't say it
Every
every time.
time, okay, I will pull out these clips. We don't have an intern or somebody to do this for us. So while I may not actually do this, but I will get clips of Akhil saying, yeah, Max and Charles are going to have an incident. Max is going to crash into Charles. Charles is going to crash into Max consistently this season. He said that.
I mean, it's gonna happen at some point. I not said every race.
Yeah, if you keep saying it every race, at some point you'll be right.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, my
yeah,
prediction.
give me
It'll be Charles, Max, and Lewis.
अरे यार तू कहाँ से लुइस को बीच में डाल रहे थे? The guy is a mid-table guy now. छे, Daniel को तो सब भूल ही जाते हैं. He's going to put so much heart into this race. Naren, do you agree with Akhil? Do you agree with Charles, Max, Lewis?
I'm just gonna be a little different. I think I'll go with Charles, Perez, and then Max.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean just to go something different. I think we've got 3 DRS zones. So Max or yeah, Max or Charles ka I think fight, given that what they did last race. like you go first, like possibly वो भी देखने को काफी interesting रहेगा, like how they play strategies. I think Charles Leclerc both races he played out really good strategies with respect to I think not going on the 8th year in Bahrain
Box
and
to overtake, box
uh,
to overtake. That was
huh.
some great strategy.
Yeah, that was really good strategy, and Ferrari pulling that off. I think hats off to them. I think that was really good.
See, here's what I think. Here's why I don't agree with Akhil. Over the last season or so, I have been noticing Mercedes are a panicky team. Okay, when it comes to pit strategy and things like that, they play it super safe. They're like, nahi risk lenge, and they always miss out. Okay, they missed out last race. They missed out so many races in that wet race where Lando was leading. Uh, Again, they missed out over there. They got really lucky, and at the same time unlucky because Verstappen caught up to them. And I just don't think they have the the I don't know, the risk taking appetite when it comes to weird ass pit stop strategies. So it's going to be super difficult to have for Hamilton with the lack of pace that he already is faced with to make up those 2-3 positions. He's starting at 5, I believe. So I don't agree with you, Akhil, that Hamilton is going to be on pole unless he has some, mega race and overtakes in the first few laps and then manages to hold on to his position. I don't see that happening. चेको चार्ल्स चेको को जिता रहे हो तुम लोग को पता नहीं है. somebody in the comment saying चेको जीतेगा. तुम लोग को उसका लक पता नहीं है, वो कितना घटिया लक लेके आया है life में. You saw what happened to him in the last race. The guy pits and then of course none other than
Oh
Mr.
shit,
Latifi does
Latifi.
what he does best. I don't think the amount of money this guy has wasted of Williams. That team does not have any money, and this guy is crashing a car a week. Okay, you all remember what they did to Mick no last time? They didn't let him race because ये like अरे भाई बहुत खर्चा हो गया है. एक गाड़ी तोड़ दिया तो अभी मतलब रेस मत करो, वापस टूट जाएगा तो. So that corner was pretty bad. And similarly, there is turn 9 over here where all the drivers seem to be having trouble. Latifi has not Latifi has crashed over there. Alonso has crashed over there, and
Alonso
Vettel has
crashed,
crashed over there. Alonso also had a different issue, like he had the hydraulics issue, but Vettel has crashed over there. Who else? Hamilton has gone off. Like number of drivers have gone off on that corner. People are having trouble with that. So it might be in Williams' best interest to not let Latifi race this time. And if Latifi is not racing this time, I think all the other drivers are going to be way more confident of their pit strategies. Having said that, my personal prediction is going to be Charles, Max, and Daniel Ricciardo. Maybe not even in that order. I feel like Ricciardo is going to do some magic, something. He's really giving it extra this weekend. 10 laps in qualifying. The guy is really desperate, and he's also really good. If his car supports him, I think he can make it to a podium finish. Meanwhile, 2 Red Bulls will hunt Leclerc down. No, man. Perez is, no, it's not. It's isn't it 4 DRS zones this time? No, one was removed. No, because of some safety issues. They were having safety issues.
Alpine only complained for that one.
Yeah, Otmar is really smart, यार. नहीं छोड़ना चाहिए था उसको, but छोड़ दिया. Okay. On that note, I think we've come to the end of our stream. Thank you to Akhil and Naren for joining us. Before we go, some final thoughts. What you all expecting other than the top 3 finishes from tomorrow? Naren, first to you.
Yep, I think an exciting race for sure. We raced, I think, last in Austria in 2019. So good to see the race circuit. Good to be back racing in Australia. I think it's a good race. Not there are not a lot of overtakes seen in Australia, I think, but I think the atmosphere on the racetrack is lit. There are fans back at the race circuit, which is great to see. And Daniel Ricciardo's home race, so he's all pumped up for the race. And yeah, I think we are in for a super exciting race. We've seen the first two races were good with respect to Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen battle, and seems like that possibly we'll see once again the Charles and Max Verstappen battle, and eagerly looking forward to it. And yeah, do enjoy the race. Do watch out for the race screenings happening across India. Not only you know they're happening across India as well. So please do watch out for that and enjoy the race, guys. I think F1's kind of been in the limelight this year, and even in the last year. I think we had a crazy season, and 2021 was super exciting, and 2022 also started on the right note. So yeah, looking forward to an exciting race tomorrow.
Absolutely. Akhil, final thoughts?
Yeah, I think rain always mixes things up. You don't know the 50%, 20%. It can be drying track or a wet track. It can be in between for the start. It's one of those where it just will throw a lot of curveballs. So I think that rain element at whatever if it's a drizzle or a heavy rain, it's going to really spice things up. And yeah, I think Ricardo is fully pumped and he has a point to prove. And I think more than anything, if he can finish in front of Lando is also a big thing for him. Yeah, I think it's a good mix. I think Charles is wanting to win the race, and I think he has the car to do it. And Red Bulls are quick, so I think it probably come down to strategy on that one. Yeah, and Mercedes, I think, just waiting. If something goes wrong, they'll inherit a podium there.
Yeah, that's highly possible. With rain, like you said, anything is possible. We're all looking forward to an exciting race tomorrow. Let me just remind you guys once again that Couch Pundits is organizing a live screening Woodside, Bandra tomorrow 10 a.m. Link for the RSVP is pinned in the comments. Please do come. It's free entry, so there's nothing you have to pay. There are deals on beverages at the bar. So it's going to be all in all a fun thing. As far as the rest of our streaming is concerned, we will be back next week as usual on Wednesdays with our cricket stream. Before that, we're going to do a post race review, hopefully on Sunday itself, that is tomorrow. If not, then before Wednesday, we will try. And once again, thank you to both of you for joining us. Hope to see you guys again soon on one of our streams. And that is it from us, guys. Bye bye.
Done.
Thanks,
Thank
a
you.
lot, Dhaval.
Bye
Thanks a
bye.
lot, Akhil, and it's great to be your